Well, hey Jake, how are you today?
Good, good. Can't complain.
Good, good, good. Well, thank you so much for doing the spotlight interview for Unique Deliveries. I'd really love. I know we just did this big hotel with you, the Fairfield Inn and Suites in Holladay, Utah. So I would love to just learn a little bit more about how that whole job, that whole project went. But first, let's start with really tell me about Magnus and what you guys do and like what your hotel development company, like what do you guys specialize in?
Certainly. Yeah, what we specialize in at our office is developing hotel projects from start to finish. So we get into the business when we find a piece of dirt, and then I guess you could say we don't finish because we stay involved in the business through management and operations of the hotels themselves.
Oh
We're
wow.
not a group that builds and then sells. Our business is to operate. So I think it makes it a little more fun because when we're building something, we know we're going to hold on to it for a while. So we really want to make sure we do a good job of it because it's not like we just wipe our hands at some point in the project. So yeah, so we specialize in development and then in hotel management.
Oh wow, that's amazing. That's a big job.
It takes some time. I mean, our last project that you guys are involved in took 5 years to finish. So
From
uh,
the time from the point of when you found the layout.
yeah, from when we found the dirt to when we opened the hotel, it's been 5 years. So it's a long time. It's longer than two of my kids have been alive. So
Oh my gosh, yeah, that is 5 years for each project, and they're not inexpensive either.
yeah, they take a bit of money, but hopefully there's a payoff.
Right, right, right. Oh my gosh. Well, that's great. So how long has Magnus been in business doing this?
So we started in 2016 officially. We
Mhm.
were doing hotel stuff before then, but Magnus Hotel Management itself really started in 2016. And it started managing one little hotel in Tooele, Utah. And we've since grown to take on more hotels and kind of moving through the different brands of Marriott, Hilton, and Choice, and growing in those brands and throughout the northern Utah area.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love hearing about your growth. Um, so tell me more about the Fairfield Inn and Suites. Like what's the size, like how many rooms, where is it located, and what really inspired you? You know, you were talking about finding that piece of dirt. What inspired you to pick that piece and go with this hotel brand?
Yeah. So this project was interesting because the piece of land that we found had been tried to be developed by several different groups. And its challenges were unique and tough enough that most groups didn't have the stamina to stick with it.
Mm,
But I think a lot of people recognized how valued that piece of property was, but that it was just going to be a struggle to get it to actually turn into a hotel. So the address is located right in Holladay, next to I-215, and it's 6433 South Highland Drive. And we had to go through rezoning, and there was quite a bit of opposition to our project.
oh,
And
really? A
in
hotel
the
right
end,
there?
yeah, from having a hotel right there because it is so close to a lot of residential, a residential area. And I get it, I understand, but understanding also that that was a very unserved location for hotels, this seemed to just about be a perfect hotel location.
Wow, that's great. So you guys had to do all the market research and everything, I'm sure.
Yep, you bet. We had to check it out, and we always make sure that before we invest in it, it's going to be a win, hopefully. So,
Going to be a win. Oh, nice. And I'm just curious, like, what kinds of things do you look for in a property?
well, yeah, that's a good question.
Maybe like the top
Proper,
three things I'm
yeah, I mean a lot of stuff. It has to be, appropriately sized. It has to have the proper zoning. In this case, we knew we had a chance to rezone it and get into the proper place. But then, generally looking at the surrounding market and what hotel brand will be best supported in that location. So it's kind of like when all the stars align, is this property really going to be successful? And very few are. because it has to be just the right amount of money to really support the type of business that we're putting in there. Some land is just too expensive to even consider putting a hotel there because you just can't build enough rentable space to justify a land cost. Whereas, downtown Salt Lake would be a good example of that. It's hard to justify a hotel there. You have to go many, many stories up to get enough revenue to justify the land cost.
Got it. That makes total sense. Wow, that's so amazing. So tell me a little bit about the actual FF&E installation. Like, I know there were some challenges, and like working with Unique Deliveries as we were doing the, partnering with you on the FF&E.
So I'm going to blame our challenges specifically on COVID because that's everybody's favorite thing to blame. So I'm going to blame it on that because it made this hotel project more challenging start to finish because that really popped up in the middle. And through that, it created so many supply chain challenges. And another buzzword for everybody is supply chain and labor issues. So with uncertainty in our schedule, delivery challenges, and then just general challenges in getting the hotel to the stage it needed to be in, when we would prefer FF&E to be installed, those stars did not align the way we wanted. So that was a big challenge for us, is saying, we've got to open this hotel on time. We've got to move the furniture in, but this is not when we would prefer it. So that was our challenge. And working with Jeremiah and the whole team at Unique, they were very aware of that challenge that we had going in. And it was nice because we were able to talk to them, express to them what's happening, tell them that, hey, we really need your help to figure this situation out, because if we wait, it doesn't bode well for the hotel. So it was one of those, we worked as a team to figure out how we can install this furniture in a less than optimal situation. Less than optimal being, we didn't have an elevator for most of the project. And so we had to do what we could to get the furniture lifted up to the 3rd and 4th floors with no elevator. So that was a very unique challenge, and one that ended up working out, and we got it all worked through. So it was a matter of, Unique Delivery had to be flexible, had to be creative, and did not complain one time about the whole thing.
That's great. That's great. And that's so great to hear. And yeah, I mean, like the construction schedule and then not having an elevator. I mean, I'm sure you felt like you had like a huge weight on your shoulders, right?
Yeah, it was, and it wasn't a friendly weight to have sitting there, because of all the commitments we made and understood that we would have an elevator when we need it. And then to not have it be there, it was really disheartening. So we appreciated Unique Delivery because, rather than just complain about it, they took that challenge and went with it. So
and made it happen. Yep. I love it. And, you really touched on one point that I think probably a lot of hotel developers really feel is that pressure to open on time.
Yep. Yeah. And that's a big deal. And it's not only there's a lot of parties involved in making sure this project gets pulled off in time. We have the city breathing down our neck. We have the franchise, Marriott, breathing down our neck. We have a lender breathing down our neck. And then we also have just general ownership that have invested the amount of money that they have to want this thing to open. So there's a lot of people that are very interested in this. So, having somebody like Unique that really made sure that we push this through was something that, you have to really get lucky to find people to work with that can step up when you need them to step up, because we didn't find that consistently through the project.
Oh, with other subs that you were working
with other subs and contractors, and things just didn't happen when they needed to. So
Oh, like with the construction schedule.
With construction. Yep. And people just not showing up, not giving us an elevator on time, things like that, which really were detrimental to the project. So Unique Delivery was really able, that was never a problem with Unique Delivery. They
Yep.
delivered on time.
We delivered on time. Yeah. Well,
Yes.
that's one thing that we really understand is like the importance of opening on time. Because if you don't open on time, then it's like you're usually faced with financial repercussions and among other things. And so, yeah, I mean, that's one of our things is we really help our hotels open on time.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. And like, were there any other challenges with the or not the FF&E, but with the overall hotel that we were able to help you with?
I think generally just being, I don't know, sometimes I feel like people don't appreciate this, but Unique Delivery was a bit of a Johnny on the spot for a few things that, we didn't necessarily, we got hit with a few surprises that were kind of out of the ordinary. Even, I would never expect a furniture installation group like Unique Deliveries to handle, yet they were able to fix or solve and find a solution to something. And so that was quite nice when, Unique Deliveries was able to really help us with a problem we didn't even know we were going to have. So
That's great. Oh my gosh, that's so I love that story. So what kinds of things do you look for when you're looking for an FF&E installation company for your hotels?
I think somebody that's going to be present. I think a lot of people can put a piece of furniture in a place.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people can do that installation, but it is an organizational effort to really put an entire hotel together and manage that process. So looking for somebody that doesn't just send a couple guys to put some furniture in, but Jeremiah was invested in this project for months before we even started it, and reviewing the plans and meeting with us multiple times to make sure he understood the wheres and the hows of a project. So that really overall that created, I believe, the success that we had is because it wasn't like a last minute thing that just popped up and then guys showed up to install furniture. We worked many months before the project started and then, for months after the project, even though really Unique Delivery was only working kind of in the middle, physically doing stuff.
Got it. That makes total sense. And wow, I mean, I just love that our guys were able to help you so much. Speaking of that, it's kind of like what have you experienced in the past with other FF&E installers?
Well, I mean, there's a range. I think a lot of it has to do with we really need people to be accountable for their work and somebody that we can trust because we're trusting our installers with the life of our hotel. They're installing the beds, all the furniture, and that's what our guests interface with directly. So it really comes down to needing to trust somebody. And so in the past, it's, other groups, it's been more of a struggle. And getting people to show up when they say they will actually show up is also a struggle. Small things that you just kind of take for granted. Boy, you start to appreciate those when you get somebody who shows up when they say they will and that you can trust to do a job.
Yep. It's a big deal. Especially when you're on such a tight deadline and money's on the line. I mean, it's like there's not a lot of room for error, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, then how was it that, is there any one specific thing? I mean, if you could say like Unique Deliveries was this, you know what I mean? Like how have we been different from other like FF&E installers?
I would say, I don't know, I guess the first thing that really jumps out to me is, positivity. And that's in a project that was rife with challenges and with areas that you could really complain or throw up your hands and point fingers at somebody else. The overwhelming positivity that we got from the crew from Unique Deliveries I was a little bit shocked at times to see Jeremiah walking around with a smile on his face when I knew the news that he just got delivered. And it wasn't easy.
No,
And he didn't let that affect him. And so that's a unique attitude to have, because so many people just get so frustrated so quickly if something doesn't go according to plan. I don't know a hotel or a big construction project that's ever gone to plan. So you need somebody that doesn't get rattled.
it doesn't get rattled, right? And that has that thoroughness to really follow through.
Yep,
Well, oh, I'm so glad. So would you work with Unique Deliveries again?
I would. Yep, and we're excited. We're looking at the next project right now. So
I can't wait.
that's it's just the exact same hotel in another location. So we're looking right in the furniture of that and get that ball rolling.
That's great. Well, and hopefully there will be an elevator, right?
There better be. There better be. But if not, we know who can do the job.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Well, Jake, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you telling your story. And we look forward to working with you on this upcoming project and many more down the road.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks. Talk to you.
Yep. Bye.